I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now starting.
Skylight Therapy.
Welcome to Grape Therapy. I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Also, not my brain wanting to just make a pun. Grateful therapy. Get it? Because it's Thanksgiving. So what could you be doing? Sipping coffee right now. Who knows what time you're listening to this to? Maybe you've already gotten into the wine. Maybe you're basting your turkey. Maybe you're hiding in your pantry to avoid maybe some family members. I've got you covered today, okay? I feel like Thanksgiving can be a lot, but there's just like chaos and a lot of family dynamics and different energies and a lot of food and maybe little ones running around, or maybe you're feeling lonely on Thanksgiving and maybe you've lost a parent. I feel like I did a Q&A the other day about just asking how people are doing, and very mixed reviews, which I will get into because I wanted to talk about that. But Thanksgiving can just be a lot in general. So I just wanted to take a moment and start off this day on the right foot. I wanted to kind of give you something to reflect on, feel good about, maybe share a giggle before all of the madness begins. So I hope you're starting your day with coffee and me. We're going to dive into gratitude, sharing some listeners' stories. I'm going to answer a couple Q&As. I guess I'll A some Qs. And I'll give you some of my best advice for handling the drama, or just skipping it entirely is fine too. So let's set the tone for an amazing day, shall we? It's nice to do it now for me too, because I'm like, it's not even Thanksgiving yet, and I'm going to talk about what I'm thankful for. I'm trying to do that daily. We all should. But I think it's so cute that, first of all, it's cute that Canadians do a Thanksgiving. Maybe a little bit of a darkness towards why Americans celebrate Thanksgiving, but I do think it's a good opportunity to be thankful. But I feel like Canadians are like, we want to be thankful too. So our Thanksgiving is in October, so I get two, even though I didn't really celebrate this year, Canadian. I feel like I'll start off. I act like you guys are here with me. I'll start off and then you go, okay? I'll start off with what I'm grateful for. And I've been trying to really reflect on this and think. And honestly, what comes to mind immediately is just self-growth. What a blessing it is to get to know yourself, to better yourself, to feel more confident in your skin and your bones, and just be who you are. And every year I feel like I'm getting more comfortable with who I am. And I am so grateful for that, because if I look back on like 25-year-old Kaitlyn to 39-year-old Kaitlyn, I'm like, that bitch has gone through so many different phases, so many different relationships, emotions. Like, I have truly learned so many life lessons, all from putting myself out there, growing through my business mindset, letting go of, that was so Canadian, letting go of old beliefs, bringing in new beliefs, breaking patterns, breaking cycles, breaking family history, and doing so much work. I am so thankful for personal growth. I don't know where I would be today if I didn't really focus on who I am. That sounds so surface level, like, who am I? But I mean like in the deepest form possible of like, who the hell is Kaitlyn Bristowe? What does she stand for? What does she represent? And it's just been so interesting to kind of crack my soul open and dive into things that are really hard to acknowledge, of why I am the way I am and why I need to work on certain things. But I just feel like what they say is true. The closer you get to 40, the less you care about things that you always cared about. I'm just really thankful. I feel like we always forget to celebrate small joys. And I feel like small joys is what life is all about. Like today, I'm on my period. Any blood sisters with me out there? Gross. It's not gross. Did you see there's a marathon runner who was being period shamed, and she owned it? She's like, people are out there shitting their pants and peeing through the race, but I'm getting shamed for my period. So I'm going to say it again, but with my chest. Any blood sisters out there with me? Any PMDD sufferers with me? My gosh, you guys, I was in Canada, and Hosanna in the highest, I was depressed, but not like a typical depression for what I usually experience in PMDD. It was more like really, really dark thoughts. So I was with family and friends, thank God. And I just kept waking up every morning, probably at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and going dark, really, really, really dark, awful, awful thoughts. Obviously I'm able to be like, what's up? Period's on its way. But it was just so bad this time for some reason. Anyways, we were talking about small joys, not cramps and PMDD and depression. Why do I always need to take that turn? We're being thankful, Kaitlyn. We're not talking about how depressed you were this last week. Small joys. I just feel like we forget to celebrate those. And over my week in Canada, I think this is why it helped my PMDD. I think I was looking at all the things that were just bringing me these little joys, playing backyard baseball with my best friend since childhood and her kids and her husband. And he made a home cooked meal. He's such a good chef, Nick. Shout out. I just feel like being around them and doing those simple everyday things of playing baseball, going to watch their baseball, going to watch their hockey, smelling the arena. Like I just was finding all those little joyful moments, and gosh, does it ever make a difference? So I feel like, and we'll get into this, like I said, when I did this Q&A of being like, hey, how's everyone doing? And the mixed messages that I got back, I think this year has been really hard for a lot of people. I think the last few years have been really hard for a lot of people. And even, it doesn't matter. We obviously don't compare our feelings to other people's feelings, and well, that person had it worse, so I shouldn't feel bad, or I should be grateful all the time because I have all this. We're allowed to feel however we feel, but I've really been feeling some serious burnout lately, and I just believe, I'm a big believer that the messier times make the brighter times brighter. That is not a cool quote. Don't put that on a t-shirt, but you know what I mean. Messy parts make the good stuff. No, I don't know how to say it. I feel like you get what I'm saying. Do you guys see that fly? Like, get away from my wine. Okay, I'm going to give you some practical gratitude tips, I guess. I have some written down here. So I'm going to share some easy ways to practice gratitude. I would say as soon as you wake up in the morning. So this is for some reason where my brain goes dark, whether it be middle of the night or first thing in the morning. I go, oh gosh, I haven't done this yet. And what about this? And this is happening in my personal life. And this is happening in my professional life. And my brain goes, bad things. What are you going to deal with today? So as soon as you wake up, try and snap the fuck out of it. So I actually have a Hatch. They should sponsor this podcast. Because I use it all the time. I have a Hatch alarm, and it makes a sunrise go slowly because I have blackout blinds, and it makes this sunrise start really softly in about 10 minutes before I set the alarm. And then when that alarm goes off, it's a meditation. And so I don't have a choice. That's why, gosh, in the middle of the night, it's like no nice sunrise waking me up. It's just dark thoughts. But the Hatch, or just put on a meditation when you wake up. I love Insight Timer. And I feel like the second you open your eyes, I hate when people, and I hate when I go to my phone and go to different, like, what's my calendar? What's on social media? Go immediately to a gratitude meditation and put on just, even if it's 5 minutes, start your day with gratitude. I feel like that's such an easy, simple way. And it always sounds gratitude is such a buzzword, and I hate toxic positivity, but to just practice that for 5 minutes every single morning, there's proof that this works, that this will shift your mindset and give you some positivity in your day. Now, I know it's hard when people are going through absolute hell in this world and certain situations, but just for yourself, do it. 5 minutes, 3 minutes even, just do it for yourself. A quick journal gratitude prompt or what you're thankful for. There's the 5-minute journal that you can get on Amazon that will just take 5 minutes, you guessed it, to just write out something that happened in your day that you're thankful for, 3 things in your life that you're thankful for. And you can do it morning and night, just morning, just night, whatever it is, just writing down some sort of gratitude is powerful. And then, like I've been saying recently with the small wins, the small joys, finding the glimmers instead of the triggers, I think it's pausing and taking in the small wins. For example, I actually celebrated a small win today by not going to a workout. My body did not want to work out. I feel like I was just nonstop for the last 2 weeks. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to make myself feel guilty. I'm going to celebrate being able to just lay in bed and take my later meetings and take my later things that I have to do. And I was like proud of myself for not going to work out. Usually I'm proud of myself for getting my ass out of bed and moving my body. But today I was like, that's a win. I let my body rest and I needed that. So I just want to encourage you guys to take a moment and think of things that make you smile, make you feel grateful, make you thankful, make you turn a negative into a positive, a little spin zone. Just realizing bad things happen. Bad things are happening in this world. Bad things happen on a daily basis to people. And I feel like the world just keeps getting scarier and people keep getting meaner because I think anger is a shield to hide fear. And I think a lot of people are scared right now. And I think we don't practice enough. We practice a lot of scrolling. We practice a lot of comparing. We practice all these things that don't make us feel good. So that's in our control. I'm really learning. I've always said when people are like, well, you can only control the things you can control. I'm like, that's what stresses me out. I want to be able to control things. Like I'm good at letting certain things go, and I'm good at being like, well, that's not in my control. But a lot of things, like for example, okay, like dogs dying. Ooh, I went there. That is out of my control, and I can't handle that. People dying, cancer happening, loss, like those dark things creep into my mind, and people are like, but you can't control it. And I'm like, that's what's so scary about it. So just a little reminder, even right now, if you need to pause this podcast, take 3 deep breaths and just say one thing that you're thankful for and one thing that you love about yourself. If you practice that every day, I'm not saying life is going to drastically change and you're going to get the job you want and nobody's going to die and you're going to be happily in this relationship and your whole world's going to change. But I'll tell you what, it does make a big difference. I've been doing it for a while now and I feel like I'm a different person. I really do. I don't know if you can see that on the social media, 80. I don't know if you can see that if that comes across online. It's so hard because even during this podcast, right? I'm taking 45 minutes of my day to just share light and happiness, and I'm trying to just be me for 45 minutes, but there's still 24 hours in a day. You see a 10-second Instagram story, and I'm like, I wonder if people really know who I am. Also, I don't know if I really want to let everybody in that much, but I really wonder if people can see growth. But I want you to acknowledge it in yourself. And if you don't, I want you to start practicing now, because think of how fast 5 years has gone by. Guys, the pandemic happened almost 5 years ago. So if you start working on yourself now, look how fast 5 years will go. And in 5 years, you'll be like, thank you, Off the Vine podcast, for changing my life. Okay. Anyways, so let's talk about that Q&A that I did recently that I was saying that I wanted to share, because I can't believe how many different things exist. Now, sometimes I don't know what needs a trigger warning. So just know that like some things I'm going to say I'm trying to really be sensitive towards this, because a lot of people experience loss, whether that be a parent, a child, a pet, a baby. So just if you are struggling with, a loss in some way, I just want you to, either find comfort in this or maybe fast forward. Seeing those questions on my Instagram Q&A and the answers come through made me realize so many things are going on in this world. I couldn't believe how many people are suffering miscarriages. I can't imagine what that feels like. I don't believe I've ever had one, and I've definitely never had one where I was excited and expecting and it didn't happen. I can't imagine that kind of loss and pain. And then I have other people going, I'm pregnant and I'm stressed out and I can't afford it and I don't feel well and this wasn't planned. And then I have people that are expecting and so excited and it's a rainbow baby or it's an IVF baby or it happened naturally. Or there's people who have 4 kids and they're like, I'm tired, bro. I'm like, holy shit, how everyone is going through something different in this world. Somebody's lost a parent. Somebody got a raise. Somebody got fired. Somebody's best friend did something that hurt their feelings. Somebody's best friend just got married and it was the most beautiful day. It's so crazy to think of how many different experiences we are all having as human beings every second of every day. I saved this one Instagram post and I'm going to share it with you, and I'll give you the Instagram where it came from so you can see or hear it for yourself if you want to go back and listen, or just rewind this 8 million times like how I did on this. But okay, listen to this.
The married ones are thinking of divorce, while the unmarried ones wish to be married. The unknown crave fame, while the famous just want privacy. The young want to grow old, while the old wish they could turn back time. The poor want to become rich, and the rich spend their nights wishing for the peace they lost chasing wealth. You see, the grass always seems greener, but nothing grows without watering what's already yours. The truth is, no one has it all, but everyone has enough. If only they stopped and took a moment to see it.
Oh, I just got full body chills. What was that one quote? Nobody has it all, but everybody has enough. Oh, I listened to that so many. I'm still getting, my goosebumps are like going away and then coming back thinking of it again, just because I'm like, why do we do this? I feel like I'm also a broken record. I feel like I bring up the same shit every time on podcasts or thoughts in my head. I'm like on repeat. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we want what other people have? Why do we not focus on what we have and that we have enough with what we have right now? People are all going through something so different, and yet we all want what other people have. And it's just so contradicting and so wild and so crazy to me. And everybody is going through something. Now, when I say be kind, you're allowed to be negative. You're allowed to have angry thoughts and mean thoughts, and you're allowed to bitch with your girlfriends or your friends, and you're allowed to be bitter, but try and look at why, and then try and see your part in it and work on what you need to heal. Because I always think of wounds and triggers as kind of a beautiful thing where it exposes what you need to work on. You know, when I think I've said this on a podcast before, you know, when you do a bunch of work on yourself and it exposes the people around you who haven't, I think we need to look in the mirror sometimes and realize that we're doing that. Okay, if I'm upset and worked up about this and I'm mad at this person, why? What is that saying about me? And where does that stem from? Where is that coming from within me? Because newsflash, it's probably you. I've had to learn that over the years. It's probably a me problem. I started writing down notes in my phone of it's probably a me problem, even though I think you guys could all relate. Like, I'm like, when I'm PMSing or like irritable, do not drink a water bottle around me. A red light? Why are you red right now? I get mad at red lights. I get mad at other people in cars. I get mad at elevators. I get mad at people if they're like in the way of the door. And I'm like, you know, that door needs to be able to shut. You're in the way. Like, get out. At airports, when people just keep hitting the button, like elevators drive me nuts. I realize this is a me problem, and it's because I'm burnt out. I'm peopled out. I'm not recharging my batteries properly. I'm go, go, go. It's my fault. So I think being able to kind of look within and then try and be kind. And what I'm saying is, I think it blows my mind still, the DMs that I get, the trolls that I experience. I know that that's anger and fear within them coming out towards me. And I almost get sick of myself talking about it, because I'm like, why am I still talking about people that are offensive to me? Because there's so much love. But I think I'm just like, they're all going through something. People are all going through something right now. And so I guess my lesson here is look within and be kind. You don't have to like at a wine night with your girlfriends, but be kind online to strangers, to people that you don't know. Even though people, I want to, every time having a stroke. Every time I'm on an airplane, there's somebody doing something insane where I'm like, how do you not have any self-awareness? But I'm like, you know what? It's just because I'm irritable. I just want to get home and be with my dogs. It's a me problem. We should start that segment on the podcast. You know what? It's a me problem. I have a lot of those. I have a lot of me problems. Self-aware, self-reflective. All right, let's talk self-care, because who doesn't need a little more glow this holiday season? I'm all about that with Oak Essentials, and you will be too, because their Dew body oil is such a game changer. It's lightweight, fast absorbing. It's not that greasy oil that will leave this residue on your skin. It leaves my skin feeling like really soft and very glowy, and I feel like I just got back from some sort of tropical vacation. And with the holiday madness, it is my secret weapon against dry winter skin. It is founded by a tastemaker, Jenny Kane. Oak Essentials brings luxury and simplicity to skincare, and their products are cruelty-free, non-GMO, and packed with clean ingredients. So no silicones, sulfates, just high-performance goodness. And if you're stuck on holiday gifting, their body routine set is absolutely perfect. It includes everything you'll need from head to toe hydration, a body wash, a scrub, lotion, balm, and of course that dew body oil that I'm so obsessed with. So this holiday season, treat yourself and your loved ones to spa quality skincare essentials that deliver a moisture-rich glow. And Off the Vine listeners, you are going to get 15% off your first order when you use code VINE15 at checkout. So that's 15% off your first order at OAKESSENTIALS, oakessentials.com, promo code VINE15. Get your best radiant skin this season with Oak Essentials. All right, I love staying connected with my people, the people I care about, especially during the holidays. So if you are looking for the perfect gift to make your loved ones feel close, even when they're far away, I'm going to put you onto Skylight Frames. So it's a touchscreen digital photo frame that lets you share photos instantly from anywhere in the world. Seriously, set up, it took me less than 60 seconds. You can upload photos straight from your phone or email, and they appear like magic. And my favorite part is the heart button on the frame lets your family tap to say thank you when they see a photo they love. So it's way more personal than just, scroll on social media. Plus, it looks stunning in any room with HD resolution and 5 frame styles to choose from. You can even preload it with memories before gifting, so they see those special moments the second they turn it on. That's so cool. I actually have 2 in my little basket for gifting right now, and I also have 1 hung up in my kitchen. And Vinos, you're going to get an exclusive deal. You're going to get $20 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com/vine. That's Skylight Frame, SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/vine. Get $20 off your purchase now at skylightframe.com/vine. Let's do a little Thanksgiving fun. I always like to know people's favorite Thanksgiving dish. I think it says a lot about them. Mine personally is the stuffing, and I love mixing stuffing with cranberry sauce. And even though, sure, turkey's delicious, it's actually disgusting. It gives you turkey farts. It smells like farts. It's just a big carcass of a bird that people are ripping apart. Yet I like the stuffing. What's the stuffing? Why is there stuffing in a turkey? I don't know, but I just like bread and cranberry sauce and salt. And that's my favorite Thanksgiving side. Maybe you could tell me in the comments. I like reading YouTube comments sometimes because people are so unhinged, but what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Stuffing. Least favorite dish? Turkey and potatoes. I know. I think potatoes are boring. I don't mind a yam, but a potato is like bland. It's like a cupcake with no icing or sprinkles. It's just like there. It's just a potato. Most awkward family moment. Oh, well, everybody knows this one for me. When my parents used to they were divorced, but they were in the same room, and I'd always be like, do you guys still like each other more than a friend? That's mine. What's yours? Share with me. Any Thanksgiving traditions? I feel like we all do this. My mom always makes us go around the table and say what we're thankful for. Apparently there's this thing called the turkey trot where people just run on Thanksgiving. I'm sure it makes you feel better, but I'm really trying to get into running. I really am. I was inspired by the marathon. I was there watching people run, and everybody's running for a reason. And it's not just like to run and lose weight. It's like they've got a cause, they've got a charity, they've got a foundation. They're helping a blind man run to cross the finish line in a marathon. Like if I ever run a marathon, that would be, I think I say it on a podcast coming up with Neve Schulman that I will run the New York City Marathon because he made me say it online. But like, if I ever do, I want to do it for a cause, because to just run for me that's a no for me, dog. The word run backwards is ner, and it's a ner for me, dog. Okay. Hot take on Thanksgiving traditions. Again, turkey's overrated. Black Friday shopping is overrated because you're just spending more money anyways on a Black Friday sale. I guess if you really need it. Best part of Thanksgiving is the leftovers. I am a leftovers guy. I love leftovers. Give me, you know what I love? Now I'm bringing the turkey back into it, but I love turkey the next day, cold, but like the bun to turkey ratio has to be fire, like more soft, yummy Hawaiian roll bread, little bit of turkey, stuffing, my mouth just watered, cranberry sauce, mayonnaise, on a bun. Give that to me all day long. Well, just for the next day. Here's something I should be proud of. I said no to going to the Macy's Day Parade. My mom wanted to punch me right in the tit when I told her that, because it's her dream to go to the Macy's Day. We watch it on TV all the time. And I got asked to go and like have this VIP experience, and I said no because I'm like, Kaitlyn, you don't need to say yes to everything. There's so many different carpets and events and this and hashtag this and look at me, I'm here. And I actually pride myself on saying no when I'm like, that could be time I'm spending with my dogs at home. Say no. I said no, I will watch it from the comfort of my couch. I'm going to give you one holiday affirmation to say to yourself today and through the holidays. So today, Thanksgiving, and through Christmas or whatever it is that you celebrate, just think whatever happens today, whether the stuffing's perfect or you're drunk, uncle says something stupid, or you're feeling lonely, or you're just trying to survive, it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. And you've got this. The holidays are either beautiful and magical and wonderful for people, or terrible and awful and sad and depressing. And I hope it's magical for you. It kind of is for me. I'm sorry. It is. But just know it's going to be okay. All going to be okay. I'm here for you. Please DM me at any time. I try and check them, and I try and talk to people who are like positive and sweet and kind, whether I'm not physically there for you or like don't even know you exist right now. Like, I do pray for people to get through things that are really hard. I don't know what's going on with me. I just have so much compassion for miserable people. Life's hard. Life's hard. Okay. Handling family drama. I always think this way with politics. Just excuse yourself. I want people to be so strong in what they believe. So if you want to partake in politics and talk about how you're feeling, do it. If you don't, step away from the table. Say, oh gosh, you know what? I'm taking a knee on this one. I'm going to go eat my stuff in another room. Like, even if you're like, I'm going to go work on this, like, just remove yourself from the situation. I hate when people think they have to sit through something that makes them uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, do yourself a favor and walk away. I just encourage boundaries, I guess. Again, another buzzword: gratitude, boundaries, triggers. You know how it goes. I also like to pretend there's a button inside of me. Like, I could just even press right here. I usually tap on my heart, but like, I just think of it as a button. It's like a reset button, like Control Alt Delete, restart, reset, blow in the Nintendo machine. Let's restart. I just feel like you got to force a smile, take a breath. Holidays are about connection, not perfection. It's just, we get so caught up in awful things because the world is so scary. Just try and get up in the beautiful Just try and get caught up in the beautiful moments. Again, easier said than done. I'm going to answer a few Q&As to wrap this podcast up. Somebody asked me on Instagram what kind of boss I am. So I manage a few people. I have an assistant, I have a producer, I have an editor, I have somebody that works for Spade and Sparrows. It's funny because they're all like friends to me. So I'm very curious. I have not heard. So Taylor, my podcast producer, and Maggie, my assistant, wrote me back and sent an audio file of what I'm like as a boss. And you are hearing this for the first time with me.
As a boss, you are
Maggie.
funny, creative, forgetful, and understanding. There are many times in the day where we'll be working and you'll go to do something and turn to me and say, wait, what was I doing? But that's what you have me for. And I think it's funny, but you don't always think it's funny. You get annoyed with yourself, but I think it's funny. Also, you never forget the most important stuff.
Oh,
Like checking in with me when I have stuff going on in my personal life with my family.
I didn't know I
my
was going to
pets.
cry.
Or including Jonathan and inviting him out when we do stuff together, which means the world to me. You drive me nuts sometimes when you say yes to another trip or push yourself when you need to rest, but that's just because I care about you. And at the end of the day, you do prioritize taking a break for your mental health, and you always encourage me to do the same when I need it, for therapy, time with family, or just taking a minute.
I did not know.
Okay, I think that's it. I love you.
I thought it was going to be funny. Oh, Maggie. I love my assistant so much. Oh my God. She's literally a godsend in my life. I can't believe I just cried. I didn't expect that. I thought she was going to be like, you're annoying. I do have ADHD brain so bad. And I do get so frustrated with myself because it scares me. I feel like I'm going through early dementia, but I think I just have really bad ADHD. Wow. That was beautiful. I do drive her nuts with saying yes to everything. See, that's what I'm working on, saying no, because there are so many things I've said no to that I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. I thought I was going to listen to these and go, yeah, I could work on that. Ooh, that's fair. I could work on that. That was so beautiful. That was so nice. Okay. Taylor, top that. Okay, this is my podcast producer.
Okay, so what is Kaitlyn Bristowe like as a boss? Well, Kaitlyn's exactly the kind of boss you'd expect, but in the best possible way. She gives our entire team the freedom to be creative and really values everyone's ideas. She keeps things really fun and lighthearted, but also genuinely cares about each of us. And it's really evident in our Zooms, our Google Meets, our texts. Like, she actually checks in with her entire team, like, outside of work stuff. So I feel like I have to mention that. And she's so down to earth and really easy to work with, like no ego, just real and super, super approachable.
Wow.
So to wrap this whole thing up, honestly, what is it like working with Kaitlyn? It's like working with your cool big sister, but if your big sister had a podcast and like she's a podcast queen powerhouse. So it's amazing to work with Kaitlyn, and I'm incredibly thankful. She's the best.
Damn, son. That was really nice. I asked Alex, but she didn't respond, but she also has 2 kids, and so I forgive her for that.
As a boss, I would describe Kaitlyn as hot. Like, whose boss is this hot, actually? She's super fun, very creative. She's passionate about what she does. She's very easygoing. She's the opposite of a micromanager, whatever you would call that. I've been around long enough to see her evolve over the years and really grow as an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. I'm incredibly A-type, and she used to be more on the B side, but now she's somewhere in the middle. She makes work fun. She's always up for my wacky ideas that usually put her into very compromising situations. She's very generous. She plays hard. We always go for dirty martinis after work, but she works just as hard. And I'm just super grateful to be on this wine journey together and to call her my friend and my boss.
I love you guys so much. That's so nice, because I really do, like, I don't know, I've never been a boss. And I mean that in a sense of like a manager, like I'm managing people. I don't mean that like a boss. Well, that too. But so I learn as I go, and I've learned a lot of lessons along the way of what I need to do better. But I do say one thing I know for sure about myself is I really do care about people's mental health if they're working for me. I really do. Okay. Wow. I should have ended with that. Now I'm emotional. Okay. Alicia, who we miss so much here Off the Vine podcast, she wrote and said, what would you consider the biggest catalyst of your life and why? It's probably getting that small little dance scholarship in Edmonton, Alberta, to move to Vancouver to be a part of a company and dance, because that's what forced me to leave my small town and go step outside of my comfort zone, do something that scared the shit out of me. And then I just saw how it changed the whole trajectory of my life to do that. And so then I was constantly inspired by that situation to be like, oh, you're scared? Do it anyways. Oh, you don't know what's going to happen from that, but it's a risk. Do it. Take the risk. Do the thing. And I do feel like that one dance scholarship and it's so funny because did you ever resent your parents in a way where, like, my mom would be so crazy about teeth? I had to prove that I brushed my teeth. She had to watch me brush my teeth. If I didn't brush my teeth and I went out, she would come in her curlers and her robe to the park with my toothbrush. Oh, she's going to hate me for saying that, but Mom, you know it's true. You did that. And so then I would resent it, and I would go into the bathroom and I'd shut the door, but I'd brush my teeth and I'd put the toothbrush onto the table like this, just so it sounded like I was brushing my teeth, but I wasn't, because I was just like, I'll show them. What was my point? Oh, so my mom was a professional ballerina and a dancer, and she was this incredible tap dancer, and she had done all these big things professionally as a dancer. And so what did she want? She saw my potential, but I would literally resent her, and I'd hold back in dance routines, which is so stupid. But this one... And she knows this story. This one competition, I had the fattest crush on this boy named Shay. God, what was his last name? I would love to see what he's doing now. He was an incredible dancer. His name was Shay. He was from Sherwood Park, and he was in the audience, and he knew I had a crush on him. And I was kind of like a stalker. Like, I remember looking him up in the phone book. I'm that old. And I was like, I'm going to give him my all. And I danced my out in this competition over the weekend, and I ended up winning the scholarship. So thanks to Shay in Sherwood Park, Alberta, for being my crush when I was, I don't know, 17 years old, because you're the reason I am where I'm at today. Truly. If Shay didn't exist, I wouldn't have showed off that day. And if I didn't show off that day, I wouldn't have moved to Vancouver. And if I didn't move to Vancouver, I wouldn't have met that guy that broke my heart. And if I didn't meet that guy that broke my heart, I wouldn't have moved to Germany and then come back and been like, I need to find my own self-worth. And then if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have auditioned to go on The Bachelor. And you know the rest. Life's so crazy. Sorry. Whew. Wild. Okay. Good question, Alicia. Just made me go back down memory lane too. What's up, Shay? Just kidding. The show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Let's take a moment, show ourselves some gratitude, not just to the amazing people in our lives, but to ourselves as well. I think it's easy to forget that in this busy world, we're all just doing our best. We really are to navigate everything that comes our way, and that deserves some recognition. So we all know that therapy is not just for those facing major challenges. It also is about learning how to set boundaries, manage stress, develop positive coping skills, and it helps you become the best version of yourself, which is something every single person deserves. So if you've been thinking about starting therapy, BetterHelp is a great place to begin. It's completely online, making it super convenient and flexible to fit into your life. And all you have to do is fill out a little brief questionnaire, and BetterHelp will match you with a licensed therapist. And if you ever feel the need to switch, it's super easy and free. So let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Vine today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Vine. Somebody asked if I have baby fever. Jenna Lamb said, which also reminds me of this guy whose last name was Lamb, and I was 17 also. I just had crushes on everybody. The dancer boy, the construction worker. His name was like Adam Lamb or something. They were doing construction in my neighborhood, and I like went out and like sunbathed in the sun in a bikini, and I was like 16 or 17 in my front yard. Like he knew what I was doing. That's so embarrassing. Anyways, do you have baby fever? You'd make an amazing mom. Thank you. That's what you want. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I mean, if everything works out and timing and the world and, yes, I get baby fever all the time. Does the baby fever go away when I'm spending time around 16-year-old kids and when puberty and everything? I'm like, I'm scared. But when it's a baby or Cleo, like, I know she wouldn't care that I say she's pregnant. I'm so excited for Cleo to have a baby. And her bump is so cute right now. But she's like, I haven't really announced it on Instagram. She like reposted a thing that she had a baby shower and people were like, you're pregnant? She's like, oh yeah, I guess I should probably like announce it. She's so funny. That's so Cleo. But I'm like, just her being pregnant makes me have baby fever. Anyways, okay, let's see. Somebody asked, have you ever considered writing a book? I'd be all over that. I go back and forth on a book because part of me wants to write this crazy book about my life and even certain things like back in the day that people wouldn't know I did. And then be like, at the end, be like, by the way, it's me, Kaitlyn. But then that would just go on to headlines and news and people would be like, oh shit. Okay. But I really want to write a book, but I don't want to be petty. And like a tell-all seems so fun and juicy, and I would approach it in a healthy way where I would talk to my therapist about it. I would have their insight. I would like have their thought process through it. I'd have them in on some of my book writing sessions. I would want to talk to my life coach. I would want to talk to my everyone that I have in my life that has helped me grow spiritually and mentally and in every way. I would want their take on it so that I'm not petty and bitter and angry. I would want to be able to take accountability, but also I would want to share truth. And that has to come with me knowing that people could also say the truth back about me and have their own story and their own side and way of seeing things. And I'd have to be okay with that, which I think I am, because I definitely want to own anything I've ever done wrong or be like, yeah, that was a human error, or I could have handled that better. But writing a book is so scary. It's like, I don't know, if you read it and you write it, people are like, oh, they could take it however you want. Now, would I write an album of my feelings? I feel like that's better. People would be like, whoa, I relate to that. And they can take it in so many different ways. But I mean, I'll never forget, I did an Instagram post a while back where I was like, hey, song lyrics I've been writing and working on and song titles. And now I look back and I'm like, wow, I was in a very bitter phase of my life there. I also think about writers and songwriters and people like Taylor Swift wrote a whole album about like 3 different exes and she's happy with Travis Kelce. So it's like, you can still write about past experiences and have it be true to you. It just might seem a little bitter. And I don't know if I want that, but God, it would be nice to say some things. Okay. Is marriage still a desire in your heart? And if I'm being honest, marriage has never actually been a desire in my heart. I love the idea of commitment and partnership and finding that person and having a wedding. Like, I do like that idea, but it's not a desire for me. It's more like I like the idea of that bond and that commitment. And if it feels right, I'm going to do it. And if it doesn't, I'm not. I think that might answer your question. Someone said, any new wines coming out? Well, if you're Canadian and you're not in the wine club, what are you doing? I think it actually might be full as of right now. We might open up a few more spots. Check on that. spadeandsparrows.com or .ca maybe for the Canadian one. God, the wine club is fun. We have so many fun Zooms and fun events, and I want to do in-person events soon. And then you get free shipping on wine, and then you can order so many bottles. And then holidays for wine, giving gifts of Spade and Sparrows warms people's. I bet your friends would love it. Maybe your friends are like, oh, I didn't want to spend the money on online wine. Well, get it for them as a gift. It's beautiful. Am I a salesman? Okay. Someone said, why don't we see Cleo anymore? Well, I see her like 2 times a week and talk to her probably 3 times a week, but she's pregnant and she has been kind of a homebody lately, and we talk all the time. It's just she's in Arkansas and I'm in Nashville. This one is kind of a deeper one. So somebody said, how many chances do I give my boyfriend who's a recovering addict who's relapsed and lied? Now, I don't know how honestly I can answer this because I've never experienced this, but I could give you advice on what I would do, and I would probably shift the focus of taking care of you. You probably feel like you constantly have to take care of them. I did date someone once who definitely had a drinking problem, and I drink alcohol. I'm drinking wine right now. And so it was hard because I felt guilty drinking, because then he would want to drink and then it would go too far and then he would start hiding it. And ultimately you do have to just take care of yourself. Again, you're probably thinking you needed to take care of him, but in order for the relationship to work, it kind of sounds like he's going to need to make the changes, not you. So I would make yourself the focus, and it doesn't mean that you don't love him if you're not putting all your energy and focus and healing towards him. So I guess I'm saying you might need to take space and time. And then that said, if he does get sober and you both reconnect, there is a good chance that the relationship will work out, because I think sober people are great. I think people who drink wine are great. I think people who are sober are great. I think people who are virgins are great. I think people who just let the freak flag fly are great. I love every different kind of human being. I even have love for the weirdo assholes out there because they're going through something, but it is going to take a lot of patience for you. And if it is meant to be, I truly believe it will be, but you might have to take a step back and only heal you and take care of yourself until they are ready to make the change. I hope that helps. I'm going to make a little toast for you guys. Did you know on The Bachelor, think of this, on The Bachelor, they go around, say there's 25 women on The Bachelor. They will go around and be like, okay, Kaitlyn, you make a toast. And I'll be like, to nerve, because I was 29 and didn't understand what I was doing. But other people would be like, to really being vulnerable and putting ourselves out there. Like, everyone would have to go around, and then you know what that's for. You just feel like so much pressure, but then TV's like, well, I'm just going to take the best one and air it, or the worst. So now I'm feeling like a lot of PTSD from this, but here is to chaos and the love that we share today. And cheers to being grateful, even when it could be really, really hard to be grateful, even when things can be messy or lonely or happy or sad. I just want to say that I'm grateful for you. I'm thankful for you. I love you. Even if I don't know you, I'm here for you. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there who's listening. And if you're listening the next day or a couple days later, I hope you had a really beautiful day, and happy holidays to everybody. I'm going to go eat pizza. I am. I watched Home Alone today, and he has a delicious cheese pizza just for me. I'm like, that's what I want, a delicious cheese pizza just for me, paired with spadeandsparrows.com. I love you guys so much. Okay, bye.
I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now ending. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't mind a rating and review.